Starting Throne and Liberty can be quite a daunting experience. The game throws a lot at you, and by level 20 you can be sitting looking at your inventory thinking, what do I do with all this shiny stuff? Well, that's why I made this video, to give you an understanding of what to expect. So before you start opening boxes, dissolving epic items, get completely paralysed by choice and spend all of your hard-earned cash on the store pointlessly, I've put some bits and pieces together that I wish I'd known when I started. And one of them is how to get rich. And that's basically because the game relies a lot on the auction house to get gear right now, as the grind at endgame can be pretty harsh. So here's a few tips to get you into that mindset come endgame. So reward boxes. You'll get a ton of these for quest rewards or local contract rewards, etc. Do not open them. You might think shiny box must open now, but resist the urge, because you're going to need them when it gets closer to the endgame. When you're crafting further on in the game, this will serve you well, and I'll tell you why when we get onto the crafting part. Just take my word for it. Do not open them. Materials and books. Now when it comes to the crafting in this game, it's not that complex in my opinion. But as a man in his mid to late 30s, I've played a bucket load of MMOs, so a lot of it for me is easy to pick up. If you're one of the fresh faced lot who's just uninstalled Fortnite and decided to have a go at a real grown up game, but that's a joke. I like Fortnite a little bit and I'm not grown up. I make videos on YouTube and still play video games. So I'll break this down real easy. All the materials and skill books you get can be dissolved into its lesser form. So grey being the lowest form and purple right now being the highest. So let's say you need 10 green parchment for a skill book, but you only have blue. If you hit dissolve in the inventory menu, drag the blue parchment into the dissolve box, and you can see you'll get green parchment. You can do this for pretty much all crafting materials. You can also do this the other way, but at the correct vendor. You can do it with all the different gems, skill books and growth stones. So the lower level stuff that you have sitting there in your storage, you can then use to craft the next level up and the next level up. So on to the big one, crafting. Here at the crafting vendor, you can see the materials you need here on the right hand side next to the crafting material. There's sometimes 2 buttons and sometimes 3 buttons. But one of them is alternative, which lets you craft the item using an alternative material. This means that if you have a blue version of the green material you need, you can in fact use that instead. The second button, you'll see a little box that looks suspiciously similar to one of the reward boxes I spoke about in the first point. This is the part I was on about, taking my word for it. It will open a sub-menu for the reward boxes, you select the material you want, and boom, there it is. Good old Uncle Hendo coming in with the clutch info. Not sure if I mentioned it before, but do not open the boxes. Leveling up. I've got one endgame character so far, and one thing that really made me is in between chapters. I had to go out and do some bullshit contracts to get the right level to start the next chapter. That's because I listened to the internet, which told me to just play the main storyline to level up fast. My advice is to not listen to the internet at all. And also, do maybe 1 or 2 local contracts whilst in the area of the story quest. Look at the quest tab on the right, scroll down to the bottom, and you will see the side quests in blue. You can have them done quickly, they aren't particularly lengthy, and line up quite nicely with whatever you're doing for the main quest. It's called efficiency. Just do some of that. What to do with spare gear? So anything green, I usually just sell or dissolve. I'm not quite sure if they're worth anything on the auction house yet, but most of it's not important to me right now. However, if you pick up blue gear early on, save it until you hit 50. Put it in storage and hold on to it, even if it doesn't fit your build, because this can make you some money. That's right, real cash monies. Well, not real, but fake in-game currency that actual insane people pay money for. This brings me to my next point. Lucent. So many people are mouth-breathing about it being a big pay-to-win game. I know it's a controversial opinion, blah blah blah, whine, but it doesn't have to be. And that opinion is usually expressed by people like me, who are broke as a joke and are jealous. But I'm at peace with being poor and no longer jealous. I mean, if your parents are Swiss bankers, go for it. Don't let me tell you what to spend your parents' money on. As I said about all that blue gear, use trait extraction. Extract the traits, get it on the auction house, and become the Elon Musk of Throne and Liberty. Yep, you can sell the traits to people that want to trait grind. So that's some of my most important tips in the game. Now get out there, grind to 50, and make me proud and become rich as a mother... It's the money.